Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to break down a really brilliant, rock-solid blueprint for solving Africa's energy crisis from the absolute ground up. We're looking at a comprehensive model that literally shifts the power and the economic benefits right back into the hands of the people. So let's start with a really simple question. Why do local African businesses and families have to pay so much money just to keep the lights on? Energy access is obviously one of the continent's biggest hurdles, right? But when you actually peek behind the curtain at the supply chain, the reasons for these crazy high costs become crystal clear. We're looking at everyday citizens, families, and some incredibly brilliant Black entrepreneurs who are dealing with a totally frustrating reality day in and day out. They're dealing with frequent grid outages, which completely forces them to rely on really expensive, polluting diesel generators. And, when they try to switch to renewable energy, individual buyers have such little bargaining power that they often end up unknowingly buying fake or low-quality solar gear. Plus, they're getting hammered by massive shipping costs just for small single orders. Our source material actually pinpoints exactly four major gaps driving this whole crisis: high equipment costs, poor product quality, very limited financing for the people trying to build solutions, and incredibly fragmented supply chains. Basically, when everyone operates in their own little silo, everybody pays a premium. It's a massive mismatch. On one hand, you've got thousands of tiny importers duplicating their logistics, warehousing, and procurement, basically fighting each other for scraps. But on the other side, you have this explosive population growth and rapid industrialization, driving a massive structural demand for energy across the entire continent.
Section 1. The bulk buying solution.
So, what's the fix? Simply put, an energy equipment import cooperative. It's an absolute game changer. Instead of hundreds of different businesses importing their own stuff separately and paying top-dollar shipping rates, the cooperative combines all of their demand. This lets them negotiate way better prices, drastically cut down shipping costs, and enforce strict product quality rules for everyone. You can literally think of this like a massive wholesale club. Kind of like a Costco, but for solar panels, batteries, inverters, and mini-grid equipment. Local solar installers, farmers, and energy developers team up, they pool their money to buy in bulk, and instantly unlock VIP pricing and strict quality standards they could never, ever get on their own. The old way? It leaves individual buyers completely isolated, weak, and honestly wildly overpaying for subpar equipment. The new cooperative way establishes real quality control, unlocks specialized financing, and just dramatically lowers costs for absolutely everyone involved. It takes a messy scramble and turns it into a powerful, unified buying force. Section 2. How the blueprint works. Instead of one giant, messy business trying to juggle every single thing, this blueprint uses a super clean multi-venture structure. You've got a holding company to protect the assets and tech. The cooperative society manages the members and pools the purchasing. Then you have these specialized branches: an import and distribution arm for the shipping logistics, a finance branch giving buyers lease-to-own options, and a technical services branch handling the actual hands-on installations. And this right here is where it gets incredibly powerful. By managing those technical services in-house, the cooperative keeps the entire ecosystem local. It creates this amazing, sustainable revenue while simultaneously empowering a massive, growing network of skilled Black engineers, contractors, and installers. It is not just about importing boxes. It's about creating real jobs and keeping that economic value right there within the community. Now, business-wise, how does it stay afloat? Well, the cooperative balances its income perfectly. You have transactional revenue like direct equipment sales, but that is beautifully balanced with recurring money coming in from annual membership fees, financing interest, maintenance contracts, and technical training programs. That keeps the whole organization financially bulletproof. Section 3. Following the money. Building serious infrastructure takes serious capital, right? So the initial spark comes straight from the grassroots co-op members themselves. But right alongside them, you have heavy backing from diaspora investors who really want to help build up the continent. Toss in impact funds, development finance institutions, and commercial banks, and you've got a really healthy, diversified mix of funding. But we've got to be real here. It is not without risks. The absolute biggest hurdle identified in our source material? Currency fluctuation. Because the co-op buys the equipment in foreign currency, but local customers pay in local currency, the exchange rate can be a bit of a roller coaster. That means strong cash flow management and spreading out supplier relationships is 100% vital to making this work. On top of that, navigating the regulatory landscape is, well, it's a lot. Whether you are dealing with Nigerian customs, tax agencies, or safety standards organizations, it demands rigorous compliance. You also absolutely need bulletproof internal governance to protect the investors and keep the trust of your members intact. Section 4. Scaling across the continent. Because energy access is a challenge across the entire continent, this isn't just a one-country solution. Starting in a place with huge proven demand like Nigeria, this exact cooperative model is highly scalable. You can take this blueprint straight into Kenya, Ghana, Rwanda, and Uganda. They are all facing the exact same supply chain bottlenecks and could massively benefit from buying together. And there is a fantastic bonus here: the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. This framework, legally and logistically, acts like a giant tailwind for this expansion. By simplifying cross-border trade, streamlining customs, and slashing tariffs, it massively strengthens the supply chains for these critical energy goods across all of Africa. As our source material perfectly points out, this isn't some passing hype or a short-term trend. The demand here is entirely structural. It's being driven by a booming population and super rapid urbanization. Reliable energy is not a luxury. It is a fundamental economic necessity that forms the base of all future development. The blueprint is fully laid out. The market demand is proven, and it is waiting. But, a blueprint is just paper until people actually get to work and build it. The opportunity for a massive, locally owned energy revolution that empowers local talent is sitting right here in front of us. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready to reach out, get involved, and help flip the switch for an entire continent?